pineal gland activation, mind control prevention, and your powerful evolution. Activating the pineal gland can prevent programming, mind control, harassment, bullying, and intimidation by individuals and groups. Whether it is a major organization, large group, or small group, or an individual who is trying to program, control, intimidate, harass, or provoke you, there is a way you can prevent them from succeeding. You can strengthen your mind and emotions so that you do not have to tolerate this anymore. There is a way to shield yourself from this intimidation and build a strong internal strength and external force around yourself, like a shield of armor that no one will be able to penetrate. I will explain how to keep all your energy centers, chakras, activated and working to their full potential, to evolve yourself into a more advanced being who is able to take control of their own lives without surrendering this control to others. I will teach you how to do this further into this presentation. When enough people know how to perform this method, it will transform our world into a very humane and advanced form where we will get our joy, hope, individuality, and creativity back to never lose it again. This method will create more gamma waves, superconsciousness, and more energy in the brain. The body and the mind act as one unit, so that every experience you have is a mind-body experience. Your thoughts can influence the condition of your body. Different thoughts and emotions produce different physical, hormonal, and chemical reactions in the body. The energy from these reactions is most commonly stored in the lower 3 energy storage centers of the body, which can be described as the survival centers or chakras. These lower energy centers are the survival, consumption, and procreation chakras. There are a total of 7 chakras. The chakras are invisible vortices, like tops of spinning energy, that resonate to the different energy frequencies and then sense and distribute prana force energy to the physical body as many different emotions, sensations, and thoughts. The 5 lower chakras relate to physical body functions. The 6th chakra relates to the mind's higher mental functions. The 7th chakra is the highest and most subtle and relates to pure spiritual consciousness. Your objective for a full, thriving, and energetic life is to keep the chakras opened and balanced with energies, like light and sound, that are positive, and to correct the negative energy effects that can block the harmonious flow of life force energy. The chakras can be influenced by colors, sounds, and the 5 senses, which can aid or hinder, and to the extreme, debilitate chakra function. The sounds can definitely include negative and or commanding words spoken by others in harsh, angry ways, and or vibrating in loud tones. The first of the 3 lower energy centers is the Root Chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. It involves our survival, security, and groundedness. It keeps our fear under control, replacing it with strength of character and courage. This chakra also assists us to develop strong family connections. What is going on in our society now is so stressful. We are being bombarded by negativity thrown at us from all directions, as well as being confronted by negative, manipulative, controlling groups and individuals in all areas of our lives, from religion to education, to financial stability, to personal freedoms, to security, to safety, and so on. This keeps us in a continual fight or flight syndrome, but I call it a fright and nowhere to escape syndrome. Because of these conditions in our environment, our energy centers for love, universal love, enlightenment, creativity, development of unique individuality, and evolvement are shut down. We are not intentionally shutting them down. Our bodies, minds, and emotions are acting automatically, kicking into survival mode. Our need for survival comes first, so all other energy centers must shut down for us to focus on our survival. When we sense that we are under any form of attack, whether it is physical, emotional, or mental. This attack situation, which we find ourselves in, is intentionally done in our outer environment as a method of controlling us, whether it is by an individual or a group. The more we are kept in a state of anxiety, fear, helplessness, and hopelessness, the better we can be controlled. To describe it in another way, we are kept in a lower level vibration because the energy centers in our body that we are reacting with are located in the lower level chakras of our body. The gray box syndrome. With this first chakra, the feeling of being grounded is being blocked from flowing with energy. This blockage can lead to a feeling of insecurity, fear, and a negative mindset. You can open or balance this chakra by taking walks in nature, stepping on the earth as you walk, gardening, or lying on the grass to feel the earth beneath you. This grounding has been stripped from us in the big cities. Our connection with nature, which allows the energy of being grounded to flow, is completely cut off. An absence of color is displayed in the environment of major cities. If you take a look at all these major cities, the sidewalks and buildings are all lifeless gray and cement. The architecture on the facades of the buildings has been stripped down to blandness. There are no creative carvings in their facades to distinguish their individuality from each other. They are just blank concrete slabs that all look the same. The old, intricately designed buildings of various textures, color, and creative architecture such as Gothic and Art Deco are not renovated. They are torn down and replaced by monstrously tall, gray structures that lack any sort of creativity. As one looks up at them from the sidewalks, they give one the feeling of being suffocated, claustrophobic, and of feeling extremely small and insignificant. There is no nature or trees. There are none of the colors that are found in nature. This causes a lack of stimulation of this chakra and debilitates it, resulting in negative emotional reactions. This lack of color has also been promoted in our workspaces and living quarters. Colorless rooms in shades of white or gray is promoted as being in style. We are told that our homes are more saleable if we paint the exterior white or use white siding and usually choose gray roofing. This even includes fashions, the clothes we wear. Researching city life by observing videos before the coronavirus, one can see massive amounts of people walking the sidewalks of major cities. A common factor in their physical appearance is that most of them, and sometimes all of them, are wearing black and shades of gray as they walk on gray sidewalks among gray buildings. All this lack of color has an effect on our internal balance, our chakras, our sense of well-being. Each energy center, chakra, in our body is stimulated in numerous ways. One way is by color. When there is a continuous absence of color, the energy centers, the chakras, in our bodies becomes debilitated, leading to imbalances and poor physical, emotional, and spiritual health. I call all of this the gray box syndrome. The second lower level energy center is the Sacral Chakra, located in the lower abdomen, genitals, and womb. It can be described as procreation, sexuality, creativity, the ability to feel joy and pleasure, motivation, and self-actualization. The natural balance of this chakra is being destroyed by what is promoted and accepted in our society. Little children are being led to focus on their sexuality and are allowed to have a sex change through surgery if they want it. This surgery can cause major disabling health and physical complications that can last as a lifetime and even cause death. The parents losing their rights in this matter has caused the weakening of the family structure. To continue, this surgery is a brutal mutilation of the sexual organs, and afterwards, the child must take hormone medication for life. This surgery can cause major disabling health and physical complications that can last a lifetime, and as I mentioned before, even cause death. There also may be a lifetime of psychological suffering. What this brainwashing has done is to prevent the procreation of the human race. The sex change prevents either sex from being able to produce children. It also may destroy the physical pleasure of the sex act itself. The ultimate goal is to have humans with both sexes in one body. This is a devolvement of the human race. Noteworthy is the procedure done to these children to prepare them for their surgical sex change. They are given pills that are puberty blockers, that are powerful hormones that act on the brain's pituitary gland, which controls the sex organs. Testicles make testosterone and ovaries make estrogen. These pills stop the pituitary from making the testicles produce testosterone and the ovaries from producing estrogen. Once it is stopped, various problems and complications result. Other blockages to this chakra are low libido, emotional problems with intimacy, no creativity, and a feeling of being isolated. Regarding this second chakra, Sacral Chakra, and feeling of being isolated, the coronavirus and also using cell phones and computers to communicate and socialize with people on various websites, rather than communicating in person, face-to-face, has resulted in symptoms of depression, loneliness, and sometimes suicide. When people do come in contact with each other, face-to-face, the masks they wear cut down the visual features of the face by half. This lack of the ability to see the whole face of a person, especially the movement of the lips when speaking, limits the emotional connection and rapport with that person. This also gives a person a feeling of detachment and isolation in the physical presence of another person. The third chakra is the solar plexus, or navel chakra. It can also be called the Consumption Chakra, located in the area above the navel. It involves vitality, self-confidence, self-esteem, desire, and manifestation. Focusing on this energy center, consumption characteristics, we realize that the term created to describe all of us, the masses, is consumers. Just by this terminology, we can see that we are being kept down, functioning at this lower level chakra, which is a lower level vibration. It is all about control, and it is displayed right in the word consumer that defines us. We are lumped all together in this one word that doesn't even sound human, and there is no individualism in it. We are just a mass of consuming beings. Another factor related to consumption is the altering of the chemical composition of our food supply. GMO, injecting hormones in our foods, poisoning our food supply with pesticides and toxic chemicals, carelessly allowing food to be sold that may have E. coli, botulism, and so forth. All this results in the breakdown of the consumer's health, which keeps them trapped in this lower level chakra. They have no alternative but to focus on their poor health and further destroy themselves through medications that keep them in an unbalanced suffering stasis. Other aspects involved with the consumption of food are obesity, which can be caused by the hormone injections in the meats. The volume of the pineal gland is reduced by obesity. It is also reduced by those who have chronic insomnia. Fluoride, which is put into toothpaste, drinking water, and mouthwash, can damage the pineal gland in the form of calcification. Symptoms related to this are poor circulation, obesity, digestive and kidney disorders, thyroid problems and vision problems, blocking of intuitive abilities, restriction of creative/ability to think out of the box, difficulty in experiencing astral travel, difficulty in transmitting and receiving spiritual messages, raised frequency of feeling out of sorts and/or feeling trapped. Smoking and drinking alcohol can also damage the pineal gland. Blockages in this chakra can also cause low self-esteem, feeling powerless, and developing an inferiority complex. These negative characteristics are activated through brainwashing and military tactics involving the verbal repetition or visual display of words by individuals or groups. New definitions are created which describe us as having numerous bad traits, and they develop rage and anger between races, classes, religious groups, genders, and so on. Another factor that has been put into play is the type of music videos, movies, and books that are chosen by individuals and groups in power that we are allowed to hear, watch, and read. All of it has a low frequency vibration which affects only our lower level chakras, holding us back from functioning on a higher vibrational level. So here we can see a cleverly created scenario where consumers remain trapped, functioning only with their 3 lower level chakras. This trap stops the evolution of the human race. It debilitates the pineal gland and pituitary gland where hormones are produced. Being trapped to vibrate only on these 3 lower level chakras debilitates the higher level chakras. The first higher level chakra I will describe is the 4th chakra, the heart chakra. It is located in the center of the chest. It is a significant chakra because it acts as a bridge, a connector, between the lower chakras of matter and the upper chakras of spirit. This heart chakra is a chakra of spirit. It involves love, compassion, hope, forgiveness, joy, inner peace, trust, and empathy. A lack of energy in this chakra can result in depression, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-discipline, difficulty in relationships, distrust, etc. Because we are caught in the survival mode, we can't bring energy to this chakra, which results in us having a lack of its positive characteristics and creating the negative characteristics from this lack. The 5th chakra is the throat chakra. It is located in the center of the throat. It involves communication, speaking, the voice, expression of creativity in the arts and music, expression, center, inner voice, speaking from truth, willpower. What is happening in our society now is control over what we can and cannot say, the destruction of the arts, books, high vibrational music, and so on. All this debilitates the 5th chakra, resulting in our inability to communicate verbally, our inability to express ourselves through speech, writing, music, and the arts. This situation prevents the development of the mind to be creative, the development of uniqueness in the individual, the development of social relationships, and more. The 6th chakra is the 3rd eye, located in the center of the forehead. It is the perception center, psychic consciousness, wisdom, intuitive ability, visualization, power of the mind. This chakra is associated with the pineal gland. Proper utilization of this chakra can enable a person to experience major physical and emotional healings without the use of doctors. Training in the use of this energy center can also allow one to develop the law of attraction and manifest. The ability to activate this chakra and to develop it is against the agenda of the controlling individuals and groups. They do not want anyone to be able to do this because then they lose their control over us. The 7th chakra is the crown chakra. It is located at the top of the head. It is the spiritual center, development of psychic abilities, wisdom, enlightenment, unity. Going as far as being able to develop this energy center would completely eliminate our reliance on any power group or individual to control us. At this point, we are godlike, and the power monsters will not tolerate this because they want to be our controlling gods. Another way to describe the chakras, the first root chakra is I do, I am. The second sacral chakra is I feel, I want. The third solar plexus chakra is I can, I do. The fourth heart chakra is I love. The fifth throat chakra is I speak, I express. The sixth, third eye chakra is I know, I think. The seventh crown chakra is I am, I understand. What our senses are programmed to see, hear, taste, touch, and even smell have all been criminalized, negative stimuli infecting our senses and causing them to become debilitated and incapacitated. This has caused us to be internally imbalanced, sucking out the energy from our chakras and putting us in a physical, emotional, and mental state in which we can easily be manipulated. This debilitation can be caused by one individual, a small group, or a large organization. We are constantly bombarded by these negative attacks, both blatantly and subliminally. To free ourselves from this trap, this stagnation of our bodies functioning only on the three lower energy centers, chakras, we can practice a breathing technique that will empower us, advancing our evolution and reviving all our energy centers and pineal and pituitary glands. Before I explain how to do this, I must mention that various forms of pollution can affect the pineal and pituitary gland. Both external and internal pollution have a negative effect on the pineal gland. External environmental pollution can be in the form of air pollution, noise pollution, land pollution, and water pollution. There are also other polluting factors which will need more of an explanation. One of them is light pollution. This is when your eyes are attacked by the defective use of lights. There may be too much light or too little light. The result can be eye strain and even hallucinations. This light pollution can be caused by many sources, including computer screens. Another form of pollution is visual pollution, when lack of beauty and order in our environment affects your well-being. In a city, all you see are huge, sterile, lifeless skyscrapers and sidewalks, instead of the living, breathing beauty of nature, which can fill you with a relaxing balance. Also, unnatural thermal pollution can result when you are exposed to heaters and air conditioners. Natural pollution can also result when there are droughts and floods. Internal pollution affects the mind and psyche. This is where the brainwashing and propaganda come in. It is made to occupy your time and clutter your mind, affecting your emotions and weakening your spirit, so someone other than yourself can remain in complete control of you. Pollution produces internal stress, which is harmful to your body, mind, and spirit. This stress can have a negative effect on the production of the hormone melatonin by the pineal gland. Normal melatonin production allows us to have normal sleep patterns. An imbalance in melatonin production can cause mental disturbances, accelerated aging, and block your intuitive abilities. And now I will describe the breathing technique. This breathing technique will release the stored energy in these lower level energy centers and bring it up to the brain center. It will allow the activation of all the chakras and start to restore their balance. Inhale through your nose and press in your stomach muscles of your lower and upper abdomen at the same time. Inhaling and exhaling moves your spinal fluid down your body on the inhale and then up your body on the exhale into your brain. This spinal fluid has positive and negative charges in its molecular structure. Through this breathing technique, you can activate the sympathetic nervous system and make it combine with the parasympathetic system to control the energy, move it up from the lower chakras to the brain, and capture it internally in the pineal gland, instead of releasing it externally at the lower levels. The pineal gland then produces serotonin and melatonin. The brain produces higher gamma wave patterns, and the person becomes superconscious. This breathing technique will allow you to have more energy move into the brain. This results in a state of ecstasy, a feeling of ultimate love. You have created a positive charge in your brain where your pineal gland is located. At your lowest energy level center, there is a negative charge. You can describe this as transforming yourself into a human magnet because you have opposite poles in your body. This creates an invisible electromagnetic field that releases energy. It activates the pineal gland to activate the pituitary gland to release oxytocin and vasopressin, which are metabolites. Vasopressin is used to treat various medical conditions, and oxytocin causes nitric oxide to react with the heart's arteries, making them swell. This causes the emotional reaction of love, gratitude, a sense of well-being, and emotional balance. With the act of inhaling and bringing the breath and spinal fluid up to the brain, and squeezing in the stomach muscles as you are holding your breath, you are exerting intrathecal pressure against that pineal gland. This pressure against the pineal gland compresses the stacked calcium carbonate crystals in the gland. This compression, which can be called mechanical stress, begins to produce a piezoelectric effect, which produces an electrical charge. Because of this effect, the pineal gland can be described as a neuroendocrine transducer. The crystals in the pineal gland are being electrically activated and become very sensitive to frequency. This results in the pineal gland acting like a radio antenna, which can pick up frequencies faster than the speed of light. When there is light or daylight, the pineal gland produces serotonin. Serotonin allows your brain to function with conscious awareness. When your environment becomes dark, then melatonin is produced, which helps us to sleep. Serotonin and melatonin are directly related to the wavelength of visible light. We are producing certain rhythms and chemicals in our normal waking day based on our environment. When the pineal gland becomes electrically activated, it produces a resonant electromagnetic field which causes its crystals to stretch to their maximum level. Then the field reverses and it compresses the crystals. The antenna in your pineal gland is activated to pick up frequencies that are faster than the wavelength of light. This is called the quantum. Then it will pick up a frequency and transduce it into a picture. When this happens, a person has an inner vision that is very realistic. Melatonin transforms into two chemicals. Two of them are powerful antioxidants that can be described as anti-cancer, anti-aging, anti-heart disease, anti-stroke, anti-neurodegenerative, and anti-inflammatory. Another chemical that is produced is the same chemical that is found in hibernating animals, which inhibits the sex drive and appetite. This chemical also causes the internal environment to become more of a reality than the outer environment. The body then moves into stasis. It goes through chemical processes until it produces dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a very powerful hallucinogenic. When this happens, the person has visions. Since this is happening at the 6th chakra in the center of the forehead, this area is called the third eye. It releases elixirs that cause dimensional experiences. The breathing technique that can be described as transporting the mind away from the body with the release of energy producing an electromagnetic field. This allows us to access information out of our three-dimensional reality. The pineal gland, acting as a transducer, picks up frequencies like an antenna and allows the person to have a realistic sensory experience without their senses. You experience a flash of light, and the energy goes into your brain, creating a blissful experience that may or may not be recalled. Both your mind and your body react to this experience as it processes the energy frequency and the information coming in. When this process happens and a person becomes uncomfortable with it, they will move from that blissful state to a high beta brainwave state and a stress state, and they will disconnect. They'll come back to their body and lose the experience. Those who stay in a relaxed state accept and flow with the experience without resistance and will have a positive result and can improve on their experience each time they perform it. The end result is a very powerful reaction. It is a very strong feeling of love and well-being that is not chemical but is electrical. It is not something we are attuned to, in our lives. The word attuned can describe this experience so well because we are tuned to a different, higher frequency than what we experience in our day-to-day lives. This reaction can be felt in every cell of our body. Because it is a completely different way for our bodies to react, we also have unique results that we wouldn't achieve in the ways our bodies are used to performing, which is based on chemical reactions. The side effects that have been observed at this higher frequency after only one biological upgrade are healings of many diseases because these diseases exist at a lower frequency level. When you raise the frequency, you eliminate the diseases. Experiencing this higher level of frequency vibration puts one in a state of bliss and heightened awareness of something greater that exists beyond our average earthly perceptions. This becomes addicting in a positive way. As one continues to practice this breathing technique and becomes more comfortable with it, they have more intention and desire to achieve a deeper, elating experience. Those who continue to practice this breathing method achieve significant changes in their bodies. To explain the process, again, in a different way, you close your eyes and inhale through your nose. At the exact same time that you inhale, lift the muscles up located at the pelvic floor, the perineum, and then pull your abdomen in, meaning contract, and visualize touching your belly button to your spine, driving your energy up through the chakras from your perineum, through your lower abdomen, through your upper abdomen, through your chest, through your throat, through your brain, to the top of your head. When you get to the top of your head, hold your breath and contract the abdominal muscles more to drive more of your energy, your spinal fluid, up into your brain, and hold your breath. Then exhale. As you practice this breathing technique, it will become one motion. To simplify this process more, you close your eyes. Then you are inhaling and contracting the perineum, lower abdomen, and upper abdomen at the same time. As you are inhaling, you are bringing your breath up through your chest, throat, head, and top of head. When you reach the top of your head, drop your shoulders down, straighten your spine, contract your abdominal muscles more. As you contract your abdominal muscles more, place your attention on your head and your brain, where you have drawn up your energy, your spinal fluid. Your energy is compressing the crystals of the pineal gland as you contract your abdominal muscles and are holding your breath. Hold your breath for a few seconds, then exhale. There is an increase of energy in your brain. The autonomic nervous system has been activated, and the pineal gland has been stimulated. This is how you have visions, gather information from a source outside of yourself, achieve physical and emotional improvements and healings, develop insights you wouldn't normally have, and so much more. This breathing technique creates more awareness in daily life experiences. You are more aware of what is going on around you in your external environment. Your senses and your brain are more active, awake, and alert because you have increased the energy in your brain. Perform this breathing method for 5 minutes in the beginning and gradually work your way up to 10 minutes. Simply stated, your brain is more awake and more of your brain is awake.